Hello everyone, Mike here. I just opened my box of Kaladesh from Magic the Gathering. I did a full box opening, which will be up on YouTube as well. This video here, though, is just showing my rares, foils, and mythics. So we're going to start off here. First up, we have Deadlock Trap. And these are not in any order. So these are just what I pulled. So Deadlock Trap, 3 colorless, enters the battlefield tapped. You get 2 energy, you can pay 1 energy, tap target creature or planeswalker. Its activated abilities can't be activated this turn. Trap. Have a Multiform Wanderer. Multiform Wonder, not Wanderer. 3/3. Enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy, pay an energy. It gains your choice of flying, vigilance, or lifelink until the end of the turn. You can also pay an energy. It gets either +2, -2, or -2, +2 until the end of turn. That. Had a foil pressure point, 1 and a white, tap target creature, and draw a card. Pressure point. Had a territorial gorger, this little gremlin guy. Those are pretty cute, actually. 3 in a red for a 2/2. Trample. Whenever you get 1 or more energy counters, it gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. Actually, wants to focus. There we go. We had Campbell, Consulate of Allocation. 2/3. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Mythic, we had Rashmi, Eternity's Crafter. 2, a green and a blue for a 2/3. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card with converted mana cost less than that spell, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you don't, you can put the card into your hand. Fateful Showdown. 2 and 2 red. Deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of cards in your hand. Discard all the cards in your hand and then draw that many cards. Would be pretty good if you have a lot of madness spells, I suppose, or you just have a really bad hand. Inspiring Vantage. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer lands, and taps for either red or white. Set the fast lands. Separate those out because I got almost a good amount of those fast lands today. So we have Daunty, Lord of Luxury, 2 colorless and 2 black. 2/3 with Death Touch. Enters the battlefield. Look at the top 4 cards of your target opponent's library. Exile 1 of them face down. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. For as long as that card is exiled, you may look at it, you may cast it, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast it. Skyship Stucker. 2 colorless, 2 red, 3/3. Has 3 abilities, which each cost 1 red. So it can get +1/+0 until the end of turn. Gets first strike until the end of turn, and it can also gain haste until the end of turn. So you can use all 3. You can use 1. You can use any combination of them. Pretty cool. Foil Tezzeret's Ambition. There we go. 3 and 2 blue. Draw 3 cards. If you control no artifacts, then you discard a card. Foil. Spire Bluff Canal. Same concept. Enters tapped unless you control 2 lands. Taps for either blue or red. Foil Glintnest Crane. 1 and a blue. 1 and a blue flying. Enters the battlefield. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact from among them. Put it into your hand, and then put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Eliminate the competition. 4 in a black. Additional cost to cast it. Sacrifice X creatures to destroy X creatures. Master Tinkerer. Trinketer. Trinket or Tinker or whatever it is. There we go. 2 and a white, 3/2. Servos and Thopters you control get +1/+1. 3 and a white, create a 1/1 servo. Sidious Will. 2 and 2 blue. Instant, choose one of the options, counter target spell. You may choose new targets for target spell. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for it, for the copy. Metalwork Colossus, 11 colorless, for a 10/10. It costs X less to cast, where X is a total converted mana cost of non-creature artifacts you control. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, return it from your graveyard to your hand. Oil Plains. Electric Static Pummeler, 3 colorless for a 1/1. Enters the battlefield, you gain 3 energy. Pay 3 energy, it gets +X until the end of turn, where X is its power. So, makes this thing powerful, pay 3 energy to essentially double it. That doesn't really want to focus on, does it? There we go. Craft Exemplar. 1 white for a 1/1, beginning of combat. On your turn, if you control an artifact, it gets +2/+1 until the end of turn. If you control 3 or more, it also gains first strike. Other Mythic, we have the Cataclysmic Gearhulk, 3 and 2 white for a 4/5 with Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, each player chooses an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker from among the non-land permanents he or she controls, and sacrifices the rest. So if you have like nothing out, you can throw that out and have everybody else have to sacrifice a lot of stuff. Foil Deadlock Trap. We looked at that earlier. There's the there's the focus. Botanical Sanctum. Enters tapped unless you control 2 or fewer lands and taps for either green or blue. Midnight Oil, 2 colorless, 2 black. It's an enchantment. Enters the battlefield with 7 hour counters on it. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card and remove 2 hour counters from Midnight Oil. When your maximum hand size is equal to the number of hour counters on Midnight Oil, whenever you discard a card, you lose 1 life. Basically lets you draw cards a little bit faster, but the counters are going to go down, making your hand size smaller and smaller. Definitely fits the archetype of black very well. We have the Pilot Exemplar. 1 colorless, 1 red, 1 white for a 3/3. Other dwarves you control get +1/+1. Each vehicle you control gets +1/+1 as long as it's a creature. Whenever she becomes tapped, you may pay X if you do deal the top X cards of your library. Put all dwarf and vehicle cards from among them into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Smuggler's Copter. 2 colorless for a 3/3 artifact vehicle. That's fine. When it attacks or blocks, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. And it accrues on just 1. So you tap a 1, any creature that has power 1 or more. Maybe tap like a servo or something or a Thopter to give this, to activate this creature. Have that be crude. Have Lost Legacy, 1 and 2 black. It's a sorcery. Name a non-artifact, non-land card. Search target player's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles his or her library, then draws a card for each card exiled. Have a Syndicate Trafficker, 1 and a black for a 3/1. Pay 1 colorless, sacrifice an artifact, put a 1/1 counter on Syndicate Trafficker. It gains indestructible until the end of turn. We have Madcap Experiment, 3 and a red, sorcery. Reveal a card from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Madcap Experiment deals damage to you equal to the number of cards revealed this way. Another mythic, we have Sky Sovereign Console Flagship. Console, I believe. 5 colorless, 6/5 flying. Legendary artifact is a vehicle. Flying, when it enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls, and it crews on 3. We have Blooming Marsh, another one of the fast lands. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands, adds black or green to mana pool. Have a foil Subtle Strike. So 1 in a black, instant, choose 1 or both. Target creature gets -1/-1 until the end of turn, or put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So you can give a creature -1/-1 and put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, or however you want to do it. We have Captured by the Consulate, enchantment, 3 in a white, enchantment aura, enchant creature you don't control. It can attack whenever so enchanted creature can't attack whenever an opponent casts a spell. If it has a single target, change the target to the captured creature if able. Be pretty nasty. I came across this in the pre-release game and lost because of it because I wasn't able to essentially target my opponent's stuff. We have Key to the City, 2 colorless, artifact. Tap, discard a card. Up to 1 target creature can't be blocked this turn. Whenever the Key to the City becomes untapped, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. We have Concealed Courtyard, another fast land. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer lands. Taps are either white or black. Have a foil Make Obsolete, 2 in a black. It's an instant. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until the end of turn. Have Marionette Master, 4 and 2 black for a 1/3 with Fabricate 3. So it either puts 3/1/1 counters on it or it creates 3/1/1 servos. Whenever an artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marionette Master's power. It's maybe better to put counters on this creature. If you were to Fabricate 3 and put 3 counters on, it would become a 4. Let's see. 3. It'd be a 4/6. So whenever an artifact enters the graveyard, it would do 4 damage each time, which is pretty cool. Or an artifact you control. We have a Beaumont Courier, 1 colorless for a 1/1 artifact creature. Has haste. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of your library face down. You can't look at it. Red, 1 red, discard your hand. Sacrifice Beaumont Courier. Put all cards exiled with Beaumont Courier into their owner's hands. We have Wildest Dreams, which is X in green. Return X cards from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Wildest Dreams. That focusing. Go. And I've already sleeved a couple of these up because they're pretty cool. So we got Chandra. Chandra, Torch of Defiance, 2 colorless, 2 red, comes in with 4 loyalty, +1 ability. Exile the top card of your library. You may cast that card. If you don't, Chandra, Torch of Defiance deals 2 damage to each opponent. Another +1 ability, add 2 red to your mana pool. -3 deals 4 damage to target creature. And -7, you get an emblem. Whenever you cast a spell, this emblem deals 5 damage to target creature or player. Chandra, Torch of Defiance, which is pretty good. And we did get 1 Masterpiece Artifact. So we're going to show you, it's already sleeved up. But we got the Chromatic Lantern. So 3 colorless, Artifact. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, or also tap. You can also tap the artifact to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So your lands tap for pretty much whatever you want, and then this also taps for whatever color you want as well. I didn't get as many mythics as I would have liked, but these two, the Chandra and the Lantern, I suppose make up for that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. First time I never pulled an expedition from Zendikar. This is the first like expedition like card I've gotten. This Lantern. So those were the rares, foils, and mythics I opened from Kaladesh. I want to thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.